Turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shade walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section. She call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
It's late night with Shade.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Live on Shade's tube, press replay. You thought I let game, back again. Say what she want, and laughs all day. Live on Shade's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, is somebody hurt? Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right, yeah, late night with Shade. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shade's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shade's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night. Shade, on Shade's tube, she back again.
It's late night with Shade.
Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shade's tube, press replay. Like you thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shade.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shade's tube, press replay. Like you thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to Shade's 2 Late Night Owls Talk Time. Happy and blessed Saturday, you guys, and I'm so happy to see you guys. Welcome to everybody in the bushes, everyone that watches this in the replay. Over here in the chat, we got Jermaine in the place to be. What's up, Jermaine? All righty. You guys, if you enjoyed this content tonight, make sure you thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment. And if you want to show additional support for the channel, feel free to do a super chat, a super sticker, Cash App donation at $ShadesTube, or copy yourself a membership per month, $4.99. Y'all know I just said that backwards. Anyway, but thanks to all who have donated so far. All right. So guys, I just got in. Okay, I had to cancel my Country Rain reaction video live. They didn't really do anything that I wanted to talk about tonight. But anyway, besides that, I had some car issues. My alternator went out. Unfortunately, I was not far from my house. I had drove right back over here in this area. I'm so happy. And I was sitting in the parking lot trying to figure out where I was going next, if I wanted to go down to this other store or not. And all of a sudden, everything just went out. It didn't go out like that. What happened is that the lights and stuff cut off first. The radio turned off, the lights turned off, the car was still going. Okay, and then all of a sudden, I said, what's wrong with this car? Let me try to drive it home real quick. And the car started going slower and slower and slower in the parking lot until it finally just cut right off. All right, and then so me and my son, I, turned the car still came on just a little bit. And I was able to, even when it went off, I think when it went off completely, I was still able to drive the car, like, bag it up so it can go backwards so he can push it. And he pushed it into a parking space. We had to push it going forward though, because I didn't bag up. I went forward because the car still will go. Okay, I can't explain it, but it still goes. And so while I pretend like I was actually driving, he pushed the car for the back and pushed it into a parking space. And then I didn't use my insurance. I used Uber Eats insurance, which is tripped out because as a diamond driver, they give you free roadside assistance, right? So I decided to use theirs instead of my Geico stuff. And so I used theirs, and I'm glad I actually used theirs because this is one thing that they do right. I cannot believe it. They did a good job. Okay, the first dude came out because I thought it was the battery, and I was like, it can't be the battery because I just got a battery last year. And if it is the battery, something is draining it down. So I immediately thought to myself, it may be the alternator, but I didn't know for sure. So the first guy came out, he was real nice, looked at everything so easily. I couldn't believe it. Other people came, who I called out before, like AAA and Geico. Them damn people who came out didn't even know how to let my car up, the hood, the hood up and stuff. And couldn't even didn't even know how to do the battery thing because it's made different, they got a little thing over all types of weird shit in that car. Anyway, the dude I called out tonight went right to it. So anyway, he didn't have a tow truck. He didn't have his tow truck. He drove another type of truck. So we had to call another guy out who had his tow truck. And he was so nice, you guys. He really was. He told me, because he used to be a mechanic or something at Firestone. He was trying to figure out why my alternator would be gone out because the car is now old. I bought it brand new. And he was like, you still got a warranty on it. So I told him, no, because of the miles on my car, doing Uber Eats in it and stuff. And plus I'd be gone all the damn time. I'd be everywhere. And then when he tried to jump it off, he did jump it off. And as soon as he unplugged the jumper stuff, whatever you call that shit, the car turned right back off. But before that, because he jumped it again, so the second time he did it, I guess that's when he saw that the thing told him that the alternator was gone. And you can tell anyway because it's not charging up to where it's supposed to be at. And you can tell, with the little gadgets they use. So it's the alternator and stuff. So he had to tow the car home, which I wasn't far from my house. And then I had him put it in the garage because he was like, you can drive it in the garage, with the thing on it. But I was scared to do that, right? So he drove it in the garage and stuff and put it in the garage and stuff. So tomorrow, our car lot things, the auto repair places, they're open on Sundays here. That's one thing I like about living out here. So tomorrow morning when I get up, I'm going to call and see how much it will be to do an alternator. I think that's what you call it, right? And then they're probably going to have to do a diagnostic thing too. So we know that costs. And I'm probably going to get the serpentine, whatever you call it, belt replaced, along with the back parking, a bagging up light that needs to be replaced, and get an oil change. I'll hopefully be able to do all of that. I don't know if they'll do all of that tomorrow. They probably tell me to bring the car there tomorrow, but they may do everything else on Monday. But I'm going to actually bring it early Monday morning. I'll tell them I can bring it at 8 o'clock. I hate when I have to get up there early. I'll get up. I usually be up at 8, but I just don't like to have to, to go out or anything. So I'll probably get up like at 8, have them pick the car up, take it up there on Monday, get the alternator and all the other stuff done. And hopefully, be done with the car for a minute and stuff. Besides I may let them check out that air conditioner too, since they'll be doing that. I'll probably have them look at that as well and do an air conditioner flush if I have enough. I'll do all of that too. But yeah, that was a trip. But you know what? The blessing part of it is that I was almost at home. Secondly, I had basically finished working too. And it didn't happen around Christmas time and all the other places that I go, because I'd be everywhere. I'd be all up in the mountains and everything. So I'm just glad it didn't happen none of those places on the freeway or anything. I don't think it would stop like that while you're driving. I don't know how the alternators just do that. I don't know. I don't think it would stop while you're driving, though. I think it would stop it would probably try to stop when you was getting off the freeway. I'm just glad I wasn't on the freeway because that's where it probably would have stopped at. And that would have not been good and stuff. I don't drive the freeway that much, though. I really don't. I prefer to go through the streets, And so I'm just glad that it happened like it happened. So that's what I was doing. And that's why I wasn't able to do Country Wayne reaction at 8 or 8:30 because I was out there, dealing with that car. Okay. So anyway, I'm still having a good day. Well, I still had a good day and I'm having a good night. Okay. That's life. You always got something to pay for. Damn. But anyway, we are going to be talking about the live that I was trying to do on Wednesday and the sound started acting up and I never got finished talking about it. Plus, we're going to finish. I got some more information to give you regarding Nick Reiner, Rob, and all of that. And I got some information about Tyler Perry. I told my people earlier when I was doing the Country Wayne Reaction Live, when it came up on my phone, I told them a little bit about it. Tyler Perry is being accused again, of actual assault or something like that. Okay. And I want to tell you guys about P. Diddy. He did another appeal. I think he did it a couple days before Christmas. So we're going to talk about that. And then y'all remember when I was telling you about that little girl, Melody Buzzard. Okay. And she was missing and she was last seen with her mom. And, her mom, they went on a trip or something. And the mom had the little girl with her when she, obviously they went on a trip. Then all of a sudden the mom comes back. Okay, good, Montel Jordan. He said he's cancer free. That's good. That's a blessing. When she came back without her daughter. Well, they finally found the little girl. And of course her mom, unalived her. So we're gonna talk about that as well, okay? And whatever else I got. All right. So thank you guys so much for being here. Like I said before, welcome to everybody. Doreen, thank you for stopping by. Doreen is in the house. And you said free Diddy? Okay. Diddy trying to get out? Shit, he want to be released immediately. Okay, that's what his lawyers, said. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with Conan O'Brien, what he said. I got all this stuff on my phone, you guys. People will make your day good or bad. And I was just telling Jermaine that I was like, that told both of them, but especially the last one. I'm going to give him an excellent review. He really did make my night really not stressful and happy because, I didn't even get teed off about the alternator because I know those things go out, especially if you put a lot of miles. Now, technically, my car is not old enough, but since I got all those miles on it, that's what makes it, eligible for that, and he didn't know that either. He didn't know I had all the miles on that car doing Uber Eats and running around in the damn streets. I've been all out of town and everything in that car, but I'm not keeping the car anyway, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, he made my night better though. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. So I forgot his name, but Tom and Sons, y'all did absolutely great. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and do this. And Uber Eats, I cannot believe y'all did a good job. I need to call y'all and tell y'all, damn, I'm gonna have to take back all the bad things I say about them because that was absolutely great. I didn't even have to wait that long, like 30 minutes. And the second call, it was only like a good 30 minutes again. That's it. They did a good job. When I was waiting on my insurance, Geico people, they took an hour, but that man came from a far away place for real. He really, truly did. But they all did a good job. You know what I'm saying? Especially Uber Eats. I cannot believe the service that they did. I thought it was going to be bootlegged and everything else. I really did. Nice trucks. They were all clean. The people were, professional, nice, helpful. I didn't have to worry about getting home. The truck was big enough for me and my son to get in it. I mean, it's just basically, it's a thumbs up. It really, truly is. And that makes, everything go better when you have people that assist you in a nice way. And plus they know what the hell they are doing. He knew about cars too. So that was a good thing too. He knew about cars and everything. Because I be wanting to know what's wrong with the damn car. You know what I'm saying? All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and do this, you guys. Let me turn my music on in the background. Of course, these kids are in here making noise late. It's not really late. It's 11 o'clock, but they still, be loud. Okay. Oh my God! Do not make this cat get up, please, and all that. She was she was laying down. Uh, she's in the bed. Okay. Okay, you need to stop being so loud for you make her get up. Okay, you guys, like I was telling you guys the other night, I said that there were some reports recently being floated that late Rob Reiner was involved in an argument with his son Nick Reiner at a party. Now, like I was telling y'all that night, a Hollywood executive said that wasn't true. All right. Now I don't know if it's true or not. Okay, but this is what he's saying now. Now, from other accounts, they claim it's true. Anyway, there were also claims made that Conan O'Brien prevented several other party attendees from calling the cops. But the source added that the party hosts saw no fight. Okay? Now, so let's go down here and look at this. So anyway, the argument between Rob Reiner and his son was shut down, okay? An eyewitness also shut down rumors of an argument happening between Rob and his son a day before the film icon and his wife Michelle were found unalive in their Brentwood home. Now, as you guys already know, Rob, his wife, and Nick attended Conan O'Brien's party on December the 13th, where multiple news outlets reported that the father and son were involved in a heated shouting match. And I just told you that a Hollywood exec told the Wrap, who is reporting this, that that was not true. This same executive said that is bullshit. Okay. He went further to explain that the 32-year-old seemed erratic in his conduct, but the alleged fight with his father is not true. And again, I don't know how true this is, but this is what this insider is saying, this executive. Okay. He also said there was this kid walking around making people feel uncomfortable, eavesdropping on conversations and that kind of thing. But he added that O'Brien saw no fight, no argument. But that doesn't mean they didn't have that in another area. I don't know. The executive further stated that they knew a number of attendees who were present at the event, but no one mentioned it to them. I said to Conan the next day, I said, "What is all this stuff about a fight?" He said, "I saw no fight." And that's what the executive revealed. Now, this executive snub comes in reply to the reports suggesting O'Brien prevented a friend from calling the cops following Rob and Nick's alleged standoff. Now, as per the Daily Mail, multiple attendees claim they witnessed father and son exchanging words at the comedian's Christmas party, which he held in his LA home. However, when a friend tried to call 911, okay, O'Brien talked them out of it, insisting he did not want cops in his house. Well, nobody likes the cops, huh? Then this person said they got in an argument, the father and son. It got so bad and loud that someone wanted to call the police to report it. That's what the insider claims. But Conan stepped in and said, "It's my house, my party. I'm not calling the police." He talked them out of calling the police. Another source brought up Nick's mental health issues and suggested that they call the cops, but Conan did not budge. When the shit was hitting the fan, somebody said we need to call the police. The conversation was about getting this kid put into a mental health hold. That's what the second source said, okay? Conan O'Brien stepped in and said, "No, I don't want the police at my house. It makes sense. Who wants the cops showing up, creating a scene?" And that's what the insider said. So, I mean, I just read at first that one insider said, the executive actually said, there was no fight. Okay, that's what he said. But then, I don't know if they say insider. I don't know if the insider is the same as the executive, because in another paragraph, then it says the insider noted there was this kid walking around making people feel uncomfortable. He was eavesdropping on people and doing that type of stuff. But he said that he did not, I think this is still the executive, but he said that he still did not see, he said that O'Brien said he saw no fight and no argument. And then the executive further stated that they knew a number of other people who were at the party, and no one mentioned a fight to them or an argument. But then this same person said that he spoke to Conan the next day. He said, "What is all this stuff about a fight?" He said that Conan said, "I saw no fight." Okay, so then they said that multiple attendees claimed they witnessed the father and son exchanging words at Conan's Christmas party. Okay, so the other witnesses, and it was multiple witnesses who said that they did see them in the argument, and that Conan O'Brien said, "It's my house, my party. I'm not calling the police." And he talked them out of calling the police because somebody wanted to call the police. And then they started talking about Nick's mental health, and they wanted to call the police so he could be put in one of those 50-50 holes. But then they said that Conan still said he does not want the police at his house. Okay? So the thing is, we got different people over here talking. The executive said this wasn't true, but these multiple witnesses say it was an argument. Okay? And Nick was walking around doing the most. Okay? And somebody did say they wanted to call the police, and they claimed, allegedly, that Conan O'Brien said he did not want the police at his house. So, I mean, who's lying? Who's telling the truth? And the thing about it, people will say they do not want the police to come out, but then something happens and the police comes out anyway. So to me, it just does not make any sense for people not to call the police at times, especially when it's something major. Because if something goes down, the police is coming out anyway. And if you would call the police, if you call the police in advance before everything, really jumps off, you can possibly save someone's life. Right. Somebody is lying. And I think I know who's lying. Okay. Because I actually believe that they did get into some type of verbal conversation. I'm just put it like that. And somebody probably did say, "Let me call the police," and then they were stopped. Okay. I mean, I just, I don't know if I believe the other person. Maybe they don't call it an argument. Maybe it was just a discussion, like I said, a conversation that got out of hand a little bit. Okay. But I still believe it was an argument. I believe that the police was threatened to be called, and someone stopped them from calling the police. And then somebody else said that, I don't know if it was at the party or before, I can't remember, that Rob told a friend, another actor, I believe, I can't remember, that he was somewhat afraid of his son. So, I don't know if I believe the other person, who I'm talking about, who said that this was not true. Now, one commenter said, if the police showed up and took the boy in custody, his mama and daddy would still be alive. So they should have called the police immediately. And you know what? I said the same thing. I said that even somebody say immediately, they never come immediately. That's a damn lie. They be coming for me. And quick. Even if they wouldn't have came until an hour later and then went to these people's house, they still would have possibly saved the mom and father's life, because this Nick, I think he unalived his parents early Sunday morning, I believe, or sometime Sunday. So even, if they would have called the police, they might have still saved those two people's lives. Somebody said he may have still unalived them later. If they put him on a 50-50 hold, and they did an evaluation and they found out that he was schizo, okay, they might would have held him there. I don't know for sure. But you would think that the parents should be locking him out that house. I mean, I would. He couldn't come to my house. And plus, I'm going to protect myself too. I mean, for real. So, he couldn't come to my house. Somebody said he's effing 32 years old, nowhere near a damn kid. Stop it. That's disgusting to try and paint him as some wayward 15-year-old. No, he was a grown man who may have had done mental health issues. But I'll tell you this much, there's plenty of people dealing with schizophrenia who don't murder their parents. Let's not paint those suffering from schizophrenia as homicidal maniacs. Some are, though, okay? Not all, but some are. And he was definitely not a kid. But, sometimes older people call, he's still not a kid. He's 30-some years old, okay? If he was 22, 25, something like that, yeah, you may use that. He's not a kid. I thought it was, too, okay? Yeah, he said he didn't want any police in his, allegedly, he said he did not want police in his house. Yep. I think so. I don't know for sure, but I think so. So let's see. Another commenter said they have to deny that there was a verbal altercation. He is diagnosed with paranoia schizophrenia. And this person says schizos are always in a fight. He was not invited. I'm sure somebody provoked him. He was a time waiting to explode and was provoked. When the shit hits the fan, nobody called the cops. This party should be investigated of what really happened inside, because now there seems to be a cover-up of what really happened in that party. From what was gathered originally, Bill got agitated by Nick Reiner and said something like it's a private thing, and that's why he got triggered and had a shouting match with Reiner. But there's more to it than that. Somebody tried to call the cops, but Conan stopped them from calling. If this is the truth, this is very damaging because they were all responsible. If they had called the cops, 100%, the murders would have been avoided. Now people talking about they should sue. Okay. And we don't know that for sure what happened because we weren't there. Let's see what else they got. Somebody said people are not committed anymore unless there has been a crime committed. It's not like in the movies. No, they will commit people. That's a damn lie. Okay, but got him, huh? Somebody else said, I guess if Conan doesn't care if his guests are safe and would rather risk their safety to save face by not involving cops, it would make sense that after the fact he would lie and dispute things Guest said in order to keep saving face. I just didn't know that was like him though, and find it concerning. Well, since you really don't know these people, we don't know what these people would do or won't do. We don't know these people. These people are on TV. You don't know them personally. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out how did he unalive them? Did he do it when they were sleeping or what? Because one of them was in one room and the other one was in the other room. So they had to be asleep, okay? Because Rob wasn't a small dude, okay? So they had to be asleep. Maybe he came, listen, we didn't think about this. Maybe he came home later than them, okay? And maybe they were sleeping in different areas. Or one was sleeping, one was resting. And he came in the house, went in the room, and off his dad first. I don't know which one. I think it was the dad first, and then the mom. Because if they were in different rooms and the house is huge, you're not going to know that one of the parents is on the line. Right, well, that's nothing. The cameras, you're right, Jermaine. No camera footage or anything. Okay, so let me give y'all the rest of this other information. That's crazy, man. Let me go over here and see. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me make sure. Okay, let me do this. And it's like people don't never have camera footage a lot of times when they need it. That's weird. No cameras. And I can't believe they don't have any on or any in the house because you would think, they would, especially being rich and things of that nature. Even poor people have cameras, okay? So let's see here. What else we got here? Yeah, that's kind of hard to believe. And they may have camera footage. They're just not telling us. So check this out. So Rob Reiner's son, Nick, reportedly gets $10,000 a month, okay, for allowance. They claim he did not pay a single bill. Okay, this is according to OK Magazine. That's crazy. You can get everything you want, basically. $10,000 a month allowance, allowance. Plus, he didn't have to pay rent. He didn't have to pay no bills or anything. And he still managed to go berserk and unalive his parents. Now, let me tell y'all more about this in 1 second. Hold on. So they said he didn't have to pay for food, no utility bills. Everything was taken care of by his parents. And you would think when you have parents that can take care of everything, and they still do it, and you're like 32, you got some good parents, okay? They say he had a lifestyle that most people could only dream of, okay? And he still wasn't happy. They said in his little guest house, I guess, he had his utilities paid for, his groceries, and even extra stuff. He had a full safety net. But, like I said before, and like we know, Nick struggled with mental health and substance abuse issues throughout his life since he was like 15. An insider said his family, his mom and dad, wanted him to be comfortable and supported. Okay? It's too bad that he was dealing with all this other stuff. And I don't know if he had the mental illness stuff before he actually started, the DRUGS. Okay. And like I told y'all the other day, Nick was in and out of rehab since he was 15 years old. Now, one source who is close to the family described Nick as self-destructive, entitled, toxic, and awkward. And see, he was diagnosed with being a schizo a little bit before his parents got unalive, okay? And I think they put him on some new medications or something like that. So Rob and Michelle, their official cause of unaliving was listed as multiple sharp force injuries. So I guess he did more than one stab. That is crazy, man. I'm not. That's just weird. Let's see what some of these commenters are saying. Somebody said they should have had him committed. I don't know if you can get a grown-up committed that easy. If he was younger, yeah. But once they get grown, if he's not being violent and doing the most, or just really, really out of his mind, I don't know if they would have committed him. But I think the parents might could have taken that $10,000 a month away and made it be a stipulation that he goes into rehab, and that's the only way he can get $10,000 per month. And they should have hired armed security in their house all the way around, because they were rich. When you're rich, you got money. Hell, if I didn't have money, I would still have somebody there, security armed, to be there the whole entire time to keep me safe. I really would, you know. And I think they should have did something like that, you know, and made him go to rehab and be there for some months. You know what I'm saying? Rehab first, and then we deal with that mental issue at the same time. Because I think those DRUGS probably was also, affecting his schizo stuff in a negative way, you know. So if they could have got him D-free, the other stuff that he was dealing with would have probably been easier to deal with. That's what I'm thinking. Reading all this stuff and reading about, mental health issues and stuff. I'm thinking if they could have gotten, the D stuff under control, then the mental health issues could have been better, handled. And I think they should have used the money thing to encourage him to go. And then, like I said, make sure you got the cameras all throughout the house. Make sure you have armed security there, because people on DRUGS and then they got schizophrenia. I mean, it can be very dangerous. You got the DRUGS encouraging you to do weird stuff, and then you got this mental health issue going on. So that's also encouraging you to do weird stuff at times, hallucinating. And then it's paranoia schizophrenia. So he's probably thinking people are watching him, trying to unalive him, because they be paranoid. They're doing the most. And so that's what he probably was doing. Who's to say when he unalived his parents, he could have thought they were out trying to get him? Because that's what people do when they paranoid schizophrenia. And those DRUGS don't do nothing but agitate the condition more and aggravate the condition more. And, you're probably going to really hallucinate and get paranoid and start seeing shit, hearing stuff, and all types of stuff. So I think if they could have gotten him in D rehab and stay there for a while, long as you can stay there to get, that out of his system, because hearing and all the other stuff is hard to beat once you be on it. And they could have just basically used their money and just be like, either you go or you're going to be out on the street like he was before, because I'm not going to deal with this. You won't get the 10 grand a month. And he liked living like that. Okay. Even after he unalived his parents, he went to a real nice hotel. So I mean, you take away that money and you put it down to 1,000. This shit, forget it. Just take it completely away and put him out your house. Tell him he has to go to rehab and hire armed security to be around you all the time. Keep them damn door locks. Take your keys back from him. Everything. Sometimes you have to do that. They will probably still be alive. Somebody says not hard at all when it comes to someone you love, especially your kid, being his legal guard or power of attorney. Go down to the court and get a court order to get him petition. Okay, that's what somebody say you have to do. But were they his legal guardian? Because I don't know if they were. Well, like I said, when you have paranoia, schizophrenia, you're already maybe experiencing a lot of weird stuff, like the hallucinations, hearing voices, maybe even seeing shit, who knows, thinking people are following you, they're out to get you. He was probably already experiencing that type of stuff, and then they had just changed his medications. And certain type of medications, if you don't take them correctly, or you miss a dosage, or if it's too strong or too weak, it can affect you many different ways. Okay, not saying that that's the reason why he got a lot of his parents, because I don't know, And then you put in the fact that he might be taking some type of drugs, which some of those things also make you hallucinate and be paranoid and things of that nature. So it's a lot of stuff that he was dealing with, and I'm not excusing what he did, because there is no excuse for him unaliving his parents. But all of that stuff, man, I couldn't have had him around me. I'm sorry, child or no child of mine. I just couldn't. Of course it was, and that's why I would have had armed security, and plus I would have been armed myself, because I'm not playing with. No way. Nope. Somebody said abuse can cause psychosis, but not. No, I don't recall anyone saying that being on DS's, will cause somebody to be a schizo. Schizo is a mental health issue, okay? But I'm sure it can make it worse. As a matter of fact, let's look it up, okay? Let's look it up. I'm going to type it here because my baby's saying stuff and I don't say it correctly, and then it won't, pick it up the correct way. So let's do this. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, that's what I meant. I told you. Yes, using drugs like heroin or the CO stuff, that white powder stuff, it can make existing schizophrenia symptoms worse. Now, some people use that heroin to temporarily self-medicate or cope with symptoms, but it has opposite effects. It makes the symptoms worse. Okay, let's see. Yeah, see, it just makes stuff worse, okay? Some people with schizophrenia also have altered speech, social withdrawal, all that stuff. It's the same thing that certain drugs will do too. And then let's see, hold on. Now the white stuff in amphetamines and methamphetamines and weed, cannabis, okay, are more commonly linked to worsening psychotic symptoms and may even trigger the onset of schizophrenia in genetically predisposed, I think I said that wrong. Okay, people. All right. So it can, those, you know what, can trigger the onset of schizophrenia in people who are more susceptible to having that mental illness. Okay. So that person in the comment section didn't really know what they were talking about. That's why I like to look up stuff. Because if you believe everything people say without looking up stuff, something's wrong with you. That's why I always look up stuff, because I be wrong at times too. So that's why I be looking up stuff. And I'm sitting right here reading it. So certain DRUGs, like the white powder, methamphetamines and amphetamines, and cannabis, it can worsen psychotic symptoms and it can trigger the onset of schizophrenia in people who are predisposed, who are more, people who are already genetically predisposed that, okay? Like if they have a family history of that, or maybe any other mental illness or whatever the case is. Probably family members, though, more importantly, if they have like family members who have mental health issues, and they probably got those genetics in them, those genes in them. So that you need to hold on, to address both the D abuse and the schizophrenia. Substance use disorder. Okay. And they say you need to address both of those things basically together. And then the schizophrenia as well. And they do have a link between those two too. They have a whole, I don't know what people be talking about, from the National Institution of Health. Excuse me. They have a whole study they did. They just put out, but not just put out, they put it out back in 2017. And they're talking about the link between schizo and people who use substance use disorder. I call it just what they just called it. Yeah, they say anybody who is diagnosed with being a schizo, you should avoid using these type of DRUGs, okay? Weed, white powder, COCAINE, and then the amphetamines, okay? Because it can make the schizophrenic symptoms worse and be more severe. So all these people sitting up here smoking and shit, thinking that their mental health, their mental stuff is going to get better. It'll trick them and make them think it's getting better, but in the long run, it just makes stuff worse. Okay? It sure does. You got that right. And I'm not going to try to say that word, but it sure does make it worse. When I'm not online, I can say it, but when I'm online, I don't know, I'll be just messing up stuff. If Conan didn't want cops showing up at his house, and thank you for being here, he should have sent them to Rob's house or others at the party that wanted to call 911. That's what I said. They could have had the police go to Rob's house so they could check, on them. And when Nick came home, even if he didn't come home, if they saw him walking around, they could have, questioned him, they would have saw that he was probably high or messed up or whatever on heroin or something like that. And then they could have took him on in, took him to the hospital, did a 50-50 hold. They're going to evaluate him to see if he needs to be admitted into anywhere. And if he's acting psychotic and dangerous and stuff, because we don't know what was going through his mind. He could have been something could have been going through his mind telling him you need to unalive your parents. You just don't know, And so if the police would have came and they would have talked to him, maybe they would have saw that. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe they would have seen that. So they usually give people this drug here. It's called Cobenfy. I'm gonna spell it for you guys. Cobenfy. That's a prescription medicine used to treat grown-ups with schizophrenia. Okay, Cobenfy. Okay. And the other name of his what is this? Exnomylin? I don't know how to pronounce this. And trospium chloride. Okay. And they say you can recover from that. I didn't even know that. So you can recover from it if you have proper treatment. They said it's possible, okay? So they say recovery means managing the symptoms, okay? Building support. You got the key? Okay, y'all be careful. Okay, so yeah, that's what that is, okay? When they said full recovery. But you probably have to be on medication for the rest of your life. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, they said ongoing care. So you have to manage the symptoms, building support, and create a meaningful life. Okay, even with occasional challenges. So I don't think you'd be like completely cured. Okay, actually, like they just said right here, they just basically, show you how to manage it. You take your medications and all that type of stuff. Man, that's they claim it is pretty much safe to live with someone who has that mental health issue. They say most of them are not violent. Well, some people are. They be up here threatening to unalive people, to do things to people and weird shit. So, I mean, it just depends. I mean, if you're dealing with someone who has that mental health issue, you have to figure that out for yourself if you need to be around them, because some of these people are violent, point blank. Okay, let me see what else I got for rob them. Oh, that was a lot of information right there, huh? Okay, let's see. Hold on for a minute, you guys, because I have to look up here and see. So we just talked about the $10,000 a month. All right. We talked about Conan O'Brien, what they said about him. And I told y'all so much information about Nick that I found, in the news articles and things of that nature. As of right now, there are no more updates regarding them. I told you what the certificate states that Rob and Michelle had multiple injuries. Okay. So that means to me, multiple means more than one. So he must have stabbed them more than one time. But they did not tell us exactly where they were, if they were asleep or anything. We do know they were in separate rooms, though. We know that. It is one more information. I probably shouldn't be telling y'all this right here, but I will tell you. Hold on. Let me find it first. I got so much stuff on my phone that it's a trip. And I do remember it, but I need to read it because I want to say it just how they have it. Let's see if I can find that story real quick. So they said that after Nick, hold on, let me make sure it's still up here. After Nick cut his father's throat, slit his father's throat, he was still alive at least a couple of minutes, okay? So let's see what they said here. So again, they said that Rob and Michelle passed on of multiple sharp force injuries, okay? And they said the time between the onset of injuries and unaliving is listed as minutes. So after he slit his throat, I guess, Rob took minutes before he passed on. Okay. And I don't know if Nick stood there and watched and then went in there and did the mom. I don't know. So they said they found Rob first at about 3:45 p.m. And Michelle was found at 3:46 p.m. So they weren't that, 3:45, that's only 1 minute. So they must have been pretty close. I'm thinking they had to be asleep because there is no way they could have been. If they found Rob first at 3:45, and then, or well, it's two different people found them. I mean, that could be easily explained. I think they were asleep. I really do. I think they were asleep because there's no way you could be up and this dude slits his father's throat first and maybe stabbed him again, and Michelle wouldn't know anything, wouldn't hear anything, even him making like a noise or struggling or like he's trying to stop him or anything. I think they were asleep. I really do. Especially if it was like early Sunday morning. Early Sunday morning could be 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4, 1 a.m. I believe they were asleep. I really do. He said, did he book the hotel room before the acts and then go back to clean up there? I don't know. They claim he booked it afterwards. Right. It's on the 7th. You can manage it and stay on it because I know that my younger brother had that and my mom had took care of him, taking pills and getting therapy. Okay. Thanks for you. Objection BS22 and you Anissa. I know I just said your name wrong, so sorry about that. I don't know for sure. You think they were in the same room today? So they had to be asleep. They had to be asleep then. They probably were in the bed, huh? I thought I read somewhere else that they were in separate rooms. I'm not sure. So they had to be asleep, and he just came in there probably and just slit their throats and then probably stabbed him and her again. Anyway, they did cremate both the mom and dad. Okay. That's sad. I guess as the week goes on, I guess we'll find out a little bit more information. That's sad, man. Oh, they talking about when he talked about when Rob Reiner said, too bad he turned his head. Maybe next time they won't miss. He said that about allegedly about Donald Trump attempted assassination in July 2024. Well, you know what? Somebody said a normal person wouldn't say anything like that. That's a damn lie. Normal people say many things, okay? And he's not the only person who has said things like that about Donald Trump. I have heard many people say stuff like that. Even when he had CV-19, people were saying things, okay? And then somebody else said, this is not something he said. Stop spreading lies and false claims. Like I said, that's why I said that they claim allegedly, because I don't know if he said that or not. Somebody said, why do people choose cremation? Because they want to. It's not like they're going to feel it. These people are weird. Okay, first and foremost, when people pass, they're not alive anymore. I know you guys don't know that, but yeah, they are not alive anymore. Okay, goodness. What is she talking about? This lady said they don't realize they will just be asleep. They believe the lies that they will be unalive and evil. People make sure cremation is cheaper as an incentive, and sometimes whoever has to pay for the funeral decide. Clearly, these people are not reading the Bible, all right? Because when you pass on, your soul leaves your body, okay? The body is just a shell. Once the soul is out, it's empty. The body returns to dust, okay? That body is no longer there. When it's in the grave, your body goes through so many different, as soon as you pass, the body goes through so many stages. I mean, I read about it. I know that's weird because I wanted to know. It goes through so many different stages and stuff. And eventually you return completely back to dust. So, okay, so when you talk about the biblical side of this, God is God. Why would he need your body? He knows what you look like. He can make it over again. Okay? If that was the case, then why do people get tattoos, which you don't supposed to do, piercings, and do a lot of things to your body? Overeat, put toxins inside of your body, like, cigarette smokes, drugs, overeating unhealthy foods, all of that stuff. So, I mean, what are you talking about? And I'm talking to this lady, like she can't really hear me, but I'm just really reacting to what she said. Asleep. Your soul is gone from your body, okay? That's just what it is. So your body is nothing. You don't hear, you don't think, you don't breathe, you don't know anything. When you pass, you're gone. That's it. So if somebody decides to be cremated, that's just what they do. Okay? Point blank. Your soul is not cremated. Your soul is gone. It's departed. It's back with God. Okay? And I agree with this person right here. She said it's their choice. After a while, only a certain most people don't even visit graves anymore. Okay, after a while, they stop visiting the graves. And honestly, when you visit the grave, it's really just for you, because that person doesn't know. Okay, because they're not there. So then somebody had to go into the Bible more, and they just let this person know that cremation is not considered a sin in Christianity. And then she goes into a whole lot of stuff, which I'm not going to read, okay? Somebody else said they don't want to be cremated. They want to be frozen and kept like that for thousands of years. Okay. Another person said graveyards are just dumpsters for humans. I never thought about that before. Okay, like that. I just, And then we got this coming. I got to read this one to you. That's right. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Somebody said they steal the bodies and feed them back to us and sell their organs and sell the plots over and over. People need to bury their own unalive people on their own land. Cremation should be illegal, and anyone involved with it should probably be unalive. This person right here is psycho, okay? A psychopath. The Bible said thou shalt not kill, okay? So you are already committing a sin right there, all right? Saying that somebody should be unalive. How do people say weird stuff, okay? And they are not stealing no damn bodies, feeding them back to us. Come on now. Now the organ thing could be true, okay, but they don't have to dig the bodies up to do that. Actually, when you go to the hospital when you're unalive, they can take the organs right then and there. Most people are not asking to see organs, and I think it's a standard practice anyway to take out certain things. Like I don't know for sure. I have to look it up, and I'm not trying to look it up. But yeah, they can easily do that at the hospital before they even put you in the grave. And honestly, do you know you're not no longer here? Do you really know? And if they are doing this, okay, like this person believes, Lisa from Minneapolis, Minnesota, she should worry about people being alive, okay? Because if they are doing this, but she is claiming, they can easily unalive somebody at the hospital, right? When you go there, you're sick. And then they can go ahead and take, the organs, because you need to take those organs, quickly so they can be still good. You can't be waiting till somebody be unalive for hours and stuff like that, So, I mean, I do believe certain things happen, but I don't believe that they just going in there taking everybody and taking organs. They can take it in the hospital anyway. When they take you to the hospital, when you pass on or when you go to the funeral home, they can easily do it right there. When you start doing that T-cut, down your chest and stuff, they can do it then. They can take whatever they need to take and you would not know. Unless you asking to see them organs or whatever the case is. And honestly, are you going to really need them anymore? Yeah, they said multiple injuries. So multiple means a lot. More than one. That's what that means. More than one. So yeah, you must have slitted their throats and then stabbed them. Then stabbed. Who was that? But yeah, that's. At least need to get out this comment section. I'm so sick of people quoting the scripture wrong. We don't have the right to judge. The Bible says if you judge, you have to righteously do it. All right. She keep on saying we are asleep, not unalive, not done with our bodies, because when Jesus Christ returns, he will raise us in them. And then she told them to go watch a live cremation, and you will understand. The people scream to get out, burned alive. They say, oh, it's just gases, reading, and that's what the screaming sound is. But it's the person's soul screaming, possibly passing. I was cooking a fertilized egg by accident that I forgot to check, and I heard a chirping. I looked out my kitchen window, no bird. Realized it was from the egg. I was cooking out. Is she crazy? This lady is not reading the Bible. It says that your soul leaves your body. So how are you hearing soul screaming in a damn furnace? Is she nuts? Oh yeah, you got a lot of stories like that where people be doing weird stuff like that. I just gave one here on my channel. Two actually. This woman going home. I'm telling you, some of these people are nuts. Okay. Okay. Yeah, here this man said, unfortunately, John, all the churches were started by Lucifer, who also runs all the organized religions. We are supposed to follow Jesus Christ directly. Okay. You know what? I don't know if all churches are run by the devil, but I will say that some are. And I will also say we do supposed to follow Jesus Christ directly, but you go to church to get together with people who supposedly believe in the same thing you are, and they're teaching you correctly. That's why you have to watch the church you go to. I don't know. This lady is nuts. Oh my God. If she thinks the soul is screaming during creation, if she believes that you are still alive and that soul is still in there, well, can we say the same thing when they go get embalmed? So when the funeral person, I forgot what you call them, start embalming the body, wouldn't the soul be screaming then? When he also takes that scalp, that little knife thing they use, and he cuts down in that teeth, wouldn't the soul be screaming then? The soul leaves that body when it's no longer of use. Okay, the soul leaves. I don't know what this lady is talking about right here. She watched a daggone YouTube video. Okay, they probably put AI effects in it or some type of other effects, and she believed that. That is weird. I can't believe this thing is going all the way down. This lady is still arguing. She talking about cremation is a scam. Funerals, period, are a scam. You go buy a high price casket and put it in the ground. No one will see it again. It's gonna get all messed up, all old bugs, maggots, all that stuff gonna be in it. You put your loved one in this damn thing in the ground. That's where they land with maggots and shit and all this other stuff eating up their bodies and stuff. She talking about the soul gonna be crying if you cremate it. If the soul was still in the body, it would be in the body when you're in the ground. So therefore, don't you think the soul would be screaming then too? It's trapped inside of a damn casket, 6 feet under with all this dirt on top of you. It's dark as crap. Okay, when it rains, I don't know if moisture gets in there. They claim it doesn't, but I bet you it does. Okay, then you got these damn bugs, insects, and all this stuff eating through your skin, the skin that's left. Okay, so I mean, what is she talking about? What she talk? This lady is talking like, you know, this lady is talking like, she says she believes in God, right? And she's talking as if God cannot make your body again. God can do whatever He wants to, right? So therefore, if you did get cremated, He can give you that same body. And who's to say? That's another thing too. Why do people think they know exactly what God means? When He says caught up, you become a new, caught up, you become, I guess, a new person. But the thing that she keeps on forgetting, these bodies that we are in right now are sinful. So you have to be sinless once you get caught up. So don't you think He's going to make you look perfect? If He's not talking about, see, I don't even understand all that. That's why I don't like to talk about it. Because I thought it said that when you pass, the soul immediately leaves. But when you're caught up, if it's your body, that's why I don't even try to understand it. If people are in the grave for hundreds of years, you're not going to have skin or bones. So that is common sense that He's going to give you a new you. He knows what you look like. So therefore, He does not have to guess at it. So I don't know what this lady is talking about. Let me ask this question right quick. Oh, man, that's why I hate to read certain things, because these people be saying weird stuff. Let's see. How long does it take for a body to turn into ashes once you pass on?
The cremation process itself takes about 2 to 4 hours.
Not cremation. In the grave, how long does it take for a body to turn into dust?
Soft tissues decompose within years to decades, leaving behind bones. However, it can take hundreds to thousands of years for those bones to fully turn into dust, depending on burial conditions like soil and temperature.
So skeletonization starts in 1 to 10 years. But to change into dust takes some years, sometimes centuries. So say God, Jesus, doesn't come back for centuries. And there's nothing there. So how when you get raptured up, what's being raptured? So all I'm trying to say is that if there's nothing there, or if your skin is all gone, because forget that, if your skin is all gone, which it doesn't take too long for that skin to start leaving. They say it can take years to a decade for soft tissues to disappear, leaving bones. So 10 years. Say Jesus doesn't come back for another 10 years. And people who just passed on, they're going to be down to bones. So that means that he would have to make that person over again, right? And if it's longer than that, just say hundreds of years or thousands of years, you're not going to see anything but dust. Say if Jesus doesn't come back for hundreds to thousands of years from now, and it's nothing but dust. So what is coming back up? Getting raptured up. Because all I'm trying to say is that the same way he will make a new person to be raptured up is the same way he will make a new person if you get cremated. Because I don't think these same bodies would be like they are now anyway, if that's what he's talking about. Okay? Because we don't know for sure when you say rapture. We know it's rapture, take up. Okay, but we don't know if it's our actual bodies, or I don't know the soul, because I thought the soul leaves the body when you pass. So I don't know exactly. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why I don't even really try to understand all of that, because honestly, it's not going to change anything. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, right here it says weeks to months, soft tissues liquefy and disappear. Now, and then they say 1 to 10 years for the bones to be left. Okay? And 50 years for your soft collagen in the bones to deteriorate, leaving mineral frames. Okay? And hundreds to thousands of years for the bones to break down through microbial and chemical processes. The teeth last the longest. You sure don't. So I don't know what this lady is talking about. See? Thank you, Jermaine, for going to the actual Bible, looking it up. Or you probably already know because you studied that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what is this lady talking about? I know that I read as soon as a person passed along, the soul leaves. Okay? Unless she thinks the soul and spirit are two different things. I'm thinking it's the same thing. Okay, I have always thought the soul and the spirit are the same thing. When they show rapture movies, they always show it like the soul is leaving. Okay, but if the soul leaves the body, once you pass, it can't be the soul. That's why I said before, I don't be trying to understand this stuff because it's like weird. You know what I'm saying at times. So let's just ask this question real quick. Let's see. What time is it? Let me hurry up because we get into a whole different conversation. Just reading these people's comments. Let's see if those are the same. Okay. Let's see here. So they claim it's not the same thing. They said the soul and spirit are distinct but intertwined. So the spirit is the divine spark or inner part that connects with God. Okay. And the soul relates to your personality, emotions, and your heart's intellect. So the spirit interacts with God. Okay. They said the Bible uses it together, leading to confusion. So what you say about that, Jermaine, since you studied this? So they said the spirit is the antenna, and the soul is the radio receiver. Okay. And your body is the speaker. Okay. And somebody else said they are the same thing. There is no difference. I think they're the same thing. I'm just going to be perfectly honest about it. I just think it's the same. Because like they say right here, First Thessalonians, they said spirit, soul, and body. But they do say spirit, soul, and body. And then here in Hebrews, it says division of soul and spirit. So that may suggest that they are different, but they still connect together. And they said the same thing here. The spirit connects you to God, and the soul encompassing intellect, emotions, and will. Okay, but anyway, like I said, I guess that's the spirit. I guess let's see which one leaves and will come out. So they said the soul is our personality, mind, heart, and will, and the spirit is our inner self that communes with God. So maybe the spirit then leaves when you pass on, and maybe the soul stays there. I don't know. This is weird. Okay, it's confusing. But the thing is, I still don't. When you pass, nothing is there. Okay. Soul is the personality, okay? And the spirit is the part that connects you with God. Okay, so when people pass, we know the spirit leaves. So do you think that soul is staying there in that body? Let me ask, okay, on this here. So when people pass, does the soul and spirit both leave the body?
Yes, in many beliefs, both the soul and spirit leave the body upon death, marking a transition to an afterlife. Some see them as one, while others view them as separate, but both continue their journey.
Yeah, so both of them, just like I was saying, they both leave and go into the spirit, up there with God, put it like that. And the body returns to dust. So I don't know what she's talking about when she said she heard people screaming. The soul was screaming during a cremation. The soul is like, you can't even see a soul. So how would it be screaming? It's like you can't really see a spirit. Spirits can be around you right now. You wouldn't be seeing them. You know what I'm saying? You said spirits can have a personality, just like our Father. Okay. And spirits connection is the connection to God, and the soul is the personality. Okay. But everything returns to God once you pass on. So even in the grave, you will not know what's going on. And in cremation, there's no way you would know what's going on. Okay? Yeah, I don't believe you know. Because you're not alive. You don't hear anything. You don't feel anything. You can't think. You can't do anything. That's why it says in the Bible to ask, to be sick, to confess and all that stuff not confess like for your sins and things like that, but to be saved before you pass on. Because once you pass on, it's too late. Okay? It's just too late. See, she probably, that woman who's talking in this comment section, she is probably a different type of religion because she probably believes that the soul is sleeping until the resurrection or rebirth. Some people are taught that right there. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people believe that everything goes back to God, but some traditions, some religions believe that the soul is asleep until resurrection or rebirth. So that's why she's saying about people. She heard people screaming, the soul screaming when they get cremated. That's why she says that. Okay, I was looking that up to see why she said that. But I honestly believe that the soul and spirit, return back to God. I don't think they stay in the body when it's past, because why would they be in the body? Listen, if you believe in God and you believe all that, right, then you already know God knows and know how to do everything, right? So therefore, he doesn't need your body. He knows what you look like. Plus, this body is not going with God anyway because we are sinful. You have to have a sinless body, mind, and everything. You can't be going up there being all evil and corrupt. And you're going to be perfect as well. So we're not going to be like this because we're not perfect. And we are certainly not sinless. Yeah, these people believe in a lot of little stuff, man. Wow. It is. And let me tell y'all something. Not getting off this other subject with Nick them, but we're finished with them anyway. But let me tell you something. I remember when I had that outer body experience when I was sleeping in the bed some years ago. And when I was laying in bed sleeping, that was the night when I was still in the bed sleeping, but I was like not in my bed, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay. And it's like I was and I wasn't dreaming, okay? I'll tell y'all right off the back, I wasn't dreaming. It's like I was floating through the air, okay? And I heard somebody talking, like a male voice, and he was telling me to go back, okay? And I was like, no, I want to see what that is, up ahead, because all I saw is like a real bright light, but it wasn't like our lights here. It was more like a metallic looking, really bright light. It was very bright. It was so bright that it could basically, blind you. Okay. So I was trying to go, not walk, because I wasn't walking. Okay. And I wasn't flying. It's like gliding. Okay. I was getting closer. I was trying to get closer to the light. And then a male voice, a very loud male voice, told me to turn around. And me being the person that I am, I said, why? I want to see what that is because it's so pretty. He said, go back, because if I don't go back, I won't be able to see my kids growing up because I won't be alive anymore. And the next thing I know, I was turned back around and I was back inside of my body and I woke up. So I know there is a soul and spirit because of that little situation that I experienced when I used to live in DFW, when I used to live in Keller, Texas. And that's a trip. So I know it is a soul and a spirit. I just really don't believe it stays there once you pass on. Because like when I was having that out of body experience, all I saw is my body laying in the bed. I turned back around and saw that just laying there, just like I was unalive. Okay. And that soul spirit knew everything that was happening. And that's tripped out. But at the same time, I don't know what was going on with my body or anything because I wasn't there like that, but I could see myself laying there. I believe when you pass on, I believe you can see yourself, your body, however which way you passed on before you actually leave. I really do believe that. I believe the movies got that part right. I really do. Because that out of body experience that I went through, that's exactly what I saw. I saw myself laying in bed. And that was a trip. And I wasn't scared. Even from that voice talking to me, I wasn't scared either. He said, just, go back, turn back around, go back, or whatever he said, something like that. And there was a male too. And just like the other little thing that I experienced when I was a little kid, and I woke up and something was like at the foot of my bed, and it had on like I don't know, it had on like a long gown type thing. It was metallic as well. Okay. And very shiny. I couldn't see the thing's face or anything. And he was just standing at the bottom of my bed. And when I woke up, I don't know what I said because I was so young. I was like, a teenager, like 12 or 11, somewhere around the age 13. And the thing just went through my closet. And when it went through the closet, you could see that same metallic looking brightness. It went through there. That's tripped out, huh? So yeah, so those are the things, some of the things that I experienced. The darkest thing that I experienced was the other thing that was standing in my doorway. And I'm not going to go through that story again because I got rid of that and stuff. I don't need to, be dealing with that stuff again. But yeah, so I do believe we do have a soul, spirit, and I do believe once you pass on, it's no longer there. And I don't believe we feel anything once we pass on. I think we are totally unalive. We can't talk, we can't think, we can't feel, we can't do anything, and I don't know, besides the body, I don't think anything else is left in the grave. I really just don't. I think everything is gone because God doesn't need our physical body as it is right now. He can actually make you to be looking like you, but perfect, when it's time to be caught up or whatever. If that was the case, what about people get burned alive? Okay. Or people who take their lives, or somebody else take their lives and like use a GUN or anything, everything will be, made sinless. So that was a trip. I'm glad she was talking in that comment section because that's the first time I ever heard somebody say they heard people's soul screaming in the what's the name? I have never heard nobody ever say no stuff like that before. That's weird. One time I seen this video on YouTube, and it was showing how people, it was a video on YouTube, you probably can still look it up, where these people claim they can hear people in hell screaming. These people come up with some weird stuff, but you know what? A lot of people believe all this stuff, man. They believe all this stuff, and it's weird. It's weird as well. But anyway, again, I think you should do whatever you want to do, okay? And as long as you feel comfortable with that decision, that's on you. I don't think it really matters, in regards to God, because God can do whatever he wants to, Now, that was it with Nick them. And like I said, I don't know what to say about Nick. I just really don't. I mean, hopefully he gets the treatment he needs. I'll tell you that, and gets better. But he will be incarcerated, probably for life. I don't see him ever getting out of prison, period. Because what he did, man, there is really no excuse. And I do wish they would have went on and called the police, because sometimes you need to call the police. You really do. Sometimes you need to get law enforcement involved. Why wait until they come because somebody gets unalive or beaten or something like that? That's silly. And hopefully Conan did not tell them not to call the police, but we probably won't never find out the real story of that anyway. And I hope they do have camera footage inside of the house to see exactly what Nick did. They act like they don't, though. Maybe they didn't have the cameras on. Okay. But anyway, that's a shame, though. All right. So let me go ahead and tell you guys about Tyler Perry. My condolences are still expressed out to Rob and Michelle's family, friends, and fans. Okay, and may they continue to rest in peace. And that's it. And I will keep updating you guys regarding all of this. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about Tyler Perry real quick. Okay, let's change this right here. So what time is? Let me hurry up too, because it's been. Okay, so Tyler Perry, this man has another lawsuit. $77 million is what they are asking. This person alleges sexual battery and intentional infliction of emotional distress. His name is Mario Rodriguez. Okay, let's see what Mario is talking about. So he was in that show Boo on Medea Halloween. So he accused Tyler Perry of sexual assault. Okay, he is the second person to file suit over sexual assault allegations against Tyler Perry. Mario filed this in California State Court on Thursday. So anyway, allegedly, Tyler Perry recruited Mario for a part in Boo in 2014 and invited the actor to his Los Angeles home. That is where Tyler allegedly put his hands on Mario's legs and began rubbing his inner thigh right next to his penis. That's what the lawsuit claims. Then in 2016, Tyler Perry allegedly grabbed the actor's leg right along with his pee, or right along his pee, okay? Then in 2018, they met up again about another role, and this time, allegedly, he reached into Mario's underwear and grabbed his pee. And then he later apologized and gave Mario $5,000. He would have had to give me $50,000. And then in 2019, Perry allegedly put Mario's hand on his pee and gave him another $5,000 after Mario declined. Now Mario is seeking at least $77 million, claiming sexual assault, sexual battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. He also alleges Boo distributor Lionsgate turned a blind eye to the allegations against Tyler Perry. Now, again, Alex Spiro, a lawyer for Tyler Perry, denied the allegations in a statement to THR. Having recently failed in another matter against Mr. Perry, the very same lawyer has now made yet another demand from more than a decade ago, which will also be failed. Which will also be a failed money grab. So I guess the other dude failed, huh? Let's see, did it? Oh, it hasn't been settled yet. Okay. Do y'all believe this dude? Because I don't know. It sounds like he may be telling the truth, but I don't know. Because, hopefully he got something that shows that he gave him $5,000. I would have told him to Zelle me or Cash App. I want to know why come he kept on going back for jobs too. Because if somebody was touching me in areas that I didn't want to be touched in, There's no way I would be going back to work for them. You say you think he probably did it? Could be. It may be possible. I mean, he might have did it. You just never know with these people. I don't think this dude is lying, though. It sounds like he may be telling the truth. He's asking for a little bit too much, though, I think. But, you know, they're not going to award him $77 million anyway. But I kind of believe this dude. Okay. Why is this keep on coming? Now, hold on. I know I got it on the thing. That's right. Let's see. Oh, it's on the timer. Let me take this down. Let me take the timer off. Hold on, y'all. Let me edit this. Okay, now it just say up there. Yeah, I kind of believe this dude, though. He said when he did it, the next time he offered him 5,000. Then the second time he gave him 5,000 too. He gave him 5,000. He didn't offer anything. He gave it to him. He must have took it. Okay. So if you or someone you know is the victim of sexual assault, contact the RAPE Abuse and Incest National Network's National Helpline at 1-800-656-4673. The number again is 1-800-656-4673. And if you or a loved one is in immediate danger, call 911. Okay? I don't know what this dude look like. Let's look it up and see if we can see real quick. Let's see before we move away from this and talk about Diddy. And then that's going to be it for this live. Okay, let's see. Mario. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna share it in a minute. Mario Rodriguez. Here it is right here. Let's see. See if we can see what he looks like. Hold on, let me go ahead and is this him right here? That's Dixon right there. Oh, look. This must be him right here, huh? So tripped out. Wait, shit. Hold on, let me share this. Goodness. Okay, here we go. Hey, you know, people, man, we sounded tripped out. Wait, hold up.
From the router to the
Yeah, he looked like Tyler looking tripped out right there.
router, because I don't want no problems, okay? Now, this is Mario Rodriguez, and Mario just filed a lawsuit against Tyler Perry, accusing him of unwanted advances and groping him without his consent. Now, why does that sound familiar? Oh, right, because Derek Dixon filed a lawsuit against Tyler Perry earlier this year, accusing him of much of the same things. And I mean, damn. Tell me you got to type without telling me you got to type, right? Now, look, I always tell y'all that one time is a fluke, twice is a pattern, and by 5, it's a lifestyle. Fluke, pattern. Now, Mario says that he met Tyler back in 2015 when a gym trainer walked up on him and said that Tyler wanted to connect. Apparently, Tyler called him subsequently and told him that he wanted to put him in a project he was working on. Only problem is, Mario says that he wasn't an actor. However, Tyler said in so many words, don't worry about that, and ended up putting him in, boo, a Madea Halloween. And he says that Tyler was the complete professional while they were working together. However, when they weren't, that's when the problems would start, all right? Now, apparently, Tyler would invite Mario back to his house to discuss future opportunities, and it would go left from there. One time, Mario said that Tyler was rubbing on his shoulders and chest and moaning. In my mind, he was moaning, hello, Another time, Mario says that Tyler took his hand and placed it down Mario's pants and grabbed his Franken beans. And then another time, Mario says that Tyler grabbed Mario's hand and forced it on Tyler's Franken beans, okay? Apparently, after each of these instances, Tyler would apologize and give Mario $5,000. So now Mario is suing for assault, battery, emotional distress, and punitive damages to the tune of $77 million. Tyler has denied all the allegations, and he's also called this a money grab. Look, in terms of what I think, I'm split. You know, I can believe that it's a money grab, but I can also believe where there's smoke, there's fire. You know, at the end of the day, Tyler, you are a 56-year-old confirmed bachelor living in Atlanta with no woman as far as the eye can see, you know, running your own empire, wearing a wig and a dress on the regular. Survey says suspect at the very least, and that makes you a target. So you kind of have to govern yourself accordingly. And honestly, the more you keep fooling around with people that have nothing to lose, you're going to end up losing the most. Now, y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this situation, and we'll talk later. Church, the following...
So what y'all think? Make sure good. I believe this guy. Okay. I believe him. I really do. Look at him sitting up there like that. I'm talking about Tyler. Well. Hopefully nobody else come out doing another lawsuit. But I definitely believe him. Yep. The only way I don't believe him is if it comes out that he was actually, you know, going along with it, and then he just decided to do this because he can get some money. I don't know. But we will see. And hopefully this dude has some supporting evidence to support what he says. And I will be keeping you guys updated on this lawsuit, just like the other one with Derek Dixon. All right? So let's go ahead and move on from that to Diddy. All right? Diddy. Okay, let's go ahead and do Diddy. Diddy and his appeal. All right, let's put this up here real quick, show it. And let's go over here and see if we can find this on TikTok. Let them tell you about it. Let's see. So this is it right here. This is not true.
Diddy has filed his appeal motion and he wants out of jail immediately. And the media is acting like this is some bombshell new information that Diddy filed his appeal, but we knew this for months that Diddy was filing an appeal. His motion for his arguments on why he wants the appeal was just due today. So this is the motion that we are seeing him submit. And Diddy is using the same arguments that we've already heard him talk about. He is claiming that the judge acted like a 13th juror and gave him a sentence that was way higher than normal. Diddy is claiming that he believes that he should only have to sit 15 months at the most, and said that the judge sentenced him higher based off of other conduct that he was acquitted of. Now, when sentencing Diddy, he said that throughout this trial, he saw clear indications that Diddy was violent towards these women, and he was also doing other things like threatening these women with freak-off tapes. And in federal court, you have a thing called guideline ranges, and the judge actually didn't even go with the probation department's guideline ranges. He actually went lower, and the probation department is just a neutral party. that looks at the case as a whole and says, we think you should sentence him to this much time. And the judge still went lower than that. And the judge explained it very well on why he came to the sentence that he did for Diddy. And like I said, it was even more lenient than the probation department. The probation department wanted more time. And he also said, I want to make it clear for the record that I am not sentencing you based on your acquitted conduct, but I am sentencing you based off things that I saw with my own eyes during this trial that can't just be misconstrued. When Diddy's sentencing came out, I said that I felt like the judge was saying this stuff on the record and also sentenced him the way he did because he already knew that Diddy was going to file an appeal, because Diddy said this before his sentence was even given to him. He kept putting the judge on notice that he was going to file an appeal because he didn't even feel like he should have been found guilty of the 2 transportation charges. Prosecution still has a whole another month until their response to Diddy's appeal motion is even due. So it's still going to be a while before we even get through this process. This man literally dodged the bullet of life in prison and he's still complaining. Sit down, do your time, and take that. But y'all let me know.
Shut the hell up, okay? For real. Shut the hell up. The thing is this right here. Anybody who's in prison, if they are allowed, and if it is their right, they are going to file an appeal. And I think they did sentence him too harshly, okay? You got all these other weirdos out here, actors, actresses, regular people, doing way more than Diddy has ever done. And their asses are still out here walking around. I don't see you guys talking about them. Why is everybody so infatuated with Diddy? You got people out here doing the most, unaliving kids, and you have proof, raping people, and you got proof of that, doing the most, unaliving their children, and they got proof of that, hanging people, all types of stuff, and y'all worried about Diddy? Goodness, there's too many other things I had to be worried about than be worried about Diddy. Men out here beating women's asses all the time, and I don't see you guys talking about them. And raping them and doing all types of stuff. I just watched a video earlier today where this lady had to leave her home with 3 little babies because her husband was beating her. And one on YouTube or whatever, I guess that's what he does, help people, I don't know. Saw her trying to walk down the street with 3 babies. She had to leave one baby in her or his carrier while she carried the other 2. She would hide the baby behind a rock or something like that, a big ass like rock. And she would take the other 2 up further and then come back and get the other one. And the guy was sitting in the car watching her do this. And he finally got out the car and started talking to her. And ended up giving her his man in $2,000 on a credit card, so she can drive her babies to to another state to live with her relatives, to get away from her abusive husband. These are the things you guys should be talking about. Forget Diddy. So let Diddy do whatever he is doing, and that's it. Okay? Why is everybody so, into his damn business like this? If he wants to follow appeal, he's going to follow it. This is right. He said he has an unfair sentence. I agree. Because you got other people who have did more than him, and they are out. They was all on, what do you call that? Probation, out on bail, all types of stuff. So some of these people you need to concentrate more on, because this man is in prison and he can exercise whatever rights he needs to get out or whatever he's trying to do. We shouldn't even be worried about it at all. And hopefully, the only thing we should be concerned about is that when he gets out, hopefully he does not repeat anything that he should not be doing, period. That's what we need to be hoping for, versus all this other foolishness. You still got the Abby Crombie dude, not even really, he won't ever answer to the things that he's been accused of. Okay, because he's so sick now. Okay, so please, it's bigger people you can talk about that have done even more things. Okay, I mean even more things, and you guys are not even talking about it. Just like all these people on the Jeffrey Epstein list, the ones that are actually guilty of doing weird stuff. You guys are not talking about that. You talk about Diddy. Forget Diddy. Shit. You need to think about real stuff that's happening now. Anyway, he did do an appeal. His lawyers did. I forgot what day, last week, right before Christmas, 2 or 3 days before Christmas. And he did ask for immediate release, ASAP. And he did say it's unfair sentencing and some more stuff. And I do say his sentence is unfair. And they are looking at stuff that he has been found not guilty or acquitted on. Okay? He shouldn't be in jail for beating Cassie, okay? Now, he could have went to jail for doing that if she would have filed charges when it happened or before, the statute of limitation ran out. But this case right here is a RICO, right? And then he was found not guilty of that, acquitted, okay? So then they got him on the Mann Act. He said, let that man out. Damn right, it's unfair. So we will see what the appeals court will decide. So do you think he'll get out, Jermaine, or what? They talking about Diddy, and you got a bigger fish to fry here. That's been said that him and Jeffrey Epstein, I think it was Epstein or somebody else, great a person. But y'all talking about Diddy? Okay. You said you got him. Like I said, people focus too much on stuff they shouldn't be. Okay? If people focus on the right things, so much will not be happening. Okay? The thing is, Diddy is already in prison. Okay? So it is what it is. Now we need to take that focus off of him and focus on other people doing crazy stuff, way more than Diddy could ever do or he could ever have done. Okay? And focus on some of these other actors who have allegations or been accused of stuff. Well, it's been proven, and yet they're not in jail or anything. And I think I talked about a few of them already. So it is what it is. All right, and I will keep you guys updated on this appeal. So when I come back on Monday, I'll discuss Melanie Buzzard's case. They did find her unalive. And some more things that I want to discuss. And any updates on Rob Reiner and Michelle and Nick and Tyler Perry and any other additional news or information that I can give to you guys. All right. Now we are getting ready to get out of here, you guys. Thank you to Jermaine. Y'all know I'm sitting right up here eating. Thank you to Objection. And thank you to Anissa and the Rain, who was in here earlier. Everybody in the bushes and everybody who watched this in the replay. And I think I said thank you to Jermaine already. Let me take this down, you guys. So I'll see y'all Monday, okay? Monday night. Monday through Friday, normal night outlines at around 9-ish o'clock, okay? So y'all have a blessed weekend. And if you are into country wearing reaction skits, check me out tomorrow. And I'll be doing that tomorrow early afternoon because I think I'll probably be taking my car on Monday. I can't see them doing alternator tomorrow. But if I can get it done tomorrow, I'm going to get it done tomorrow on everything. But I'll still do the country wearing skit before I reaction before I leave out. All right? Y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you're enjoying this content. Also, subscribe to the channel. And hit the bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment. And if you want to show additional support for the show, feel free to do a super chat. Okay. A super sticker or a Cash App donation at $.ShadeTube or a copy of separate membership for $4.99 per month. You guys, thank you again for being here. You have a blessed night, blessed Sunday, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care, y'all. Let me do this. Let me do that. Share this band real quick before we get out of here. Oh no, I did this wrong. I was about to do it the wrong way. All right, here we go right here. Let me put it on the right stuff. All right, y'all. Have a blessed night and a blessed Sunday. Oh, check out my latest Dollar Tree haul in my latest YouTube short as well. All right? All right. Peace out, y'all.
Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Mic hot, crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shay walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section, she call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
Late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I let game, back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, and somebody hurt. Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right here, late night with Shay.
Late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube.